Hello, good morning. I'm Robert Zagato from Long Island, New York. That's by New York City. I want to communicate to some of you very intelligent and caring people. This this word goes forth to you who are intelligent, wise, and compassionate people of any religion or any faith or any denomination or any persuasion, any race, color, or creed. As long as you have a heart for people who need our assistance and our resources. I have to tell you that here in the United States, even though we live in the largest communications apparatus of the New York City area with the internet and with the media and newspapers and periodicals and international conversation, we still live in a insular womb of denial to many people's hardships in other nations of the world. We must understand that here in the United States, especially in the New York City area, and the Washington, D.C. area, and Boston area, where affluence abounds unrestricted, that we are very privileged. And it is our God-given responsibility to help out those who are not so privileged because of their location in the world under tyrannical national rules and rulers and ideologies and theocracies and all kinds of inhibiting functions which diminish their human rights. I speak to you of the harassed poor people of the world, of all nationalities. I'm speaking of the Jewish people of the world who still after the atrocities of the Holocaust, still there are tremendous persecutions throughout the world on the Jewish front of the Jewish persuasion and the Jewish nationality and the Jewish race are still being persecuted by the ignorance of the world. It did not go away after the United States won World War II. It did not end. It continues, and we still need your assistance to rescue and secure many of the Jewish people dispersed in nations which do not have human rights amendments to their constitution, if they even have a constitution. So I am pleading to the affluent New Yorker and Washington, D.C. residents of the Boston to Washington megalopolis who have both insight, wisdom, knowledge, ability, and mostly a heart toward the persecuted peoples of the world who do not enjoy freedom at all, but are persecuted daily. I need able people, able men and women, men and women of resource and ability who can network and work in a group and bring about a powerful change to secure and succor these poorly treated people in the world. I'm going to talk about three groups of people. I'm going to talk about the Jewish dispersed people still in many countries who are persecuted. I'm going to speak about the Christian peoples of many countries who are persecuted. Here in New York, there is no persecution in being Jewish or Christian. It is an honor. Uh, we live in the lap of luxury. We live wined and dined to excess here. But there are Jewish and Christian people throughout the world who are now in prisons, who are being tortured, who are being killed, who are being persecuted daily for their belief in the living God. They face persecution daily with the eyes of Jesus and the eyes of God, Jehovah, Elohim, Yahweh, looking constantly down on the situation and waiting for his people to step up with their resources and bravery and strength and become brothers and sisters to these persecuted Jewish people and Christian people in the other nations of the world. And when I speak of persecution, I'm not talking necessarily about any religion persecuting another religion. I am just talking on the national level. We know there is great persecution in China for Jewish and Christian people, and even Muslim people persecuted in China. And we also know that in North Korea, it is impossible to be Christian, Muslim, or Jewish. The persecution there is outrageous. In Africa, many Jews, Christians, and Muslims are also persecuted. This is horrendous and should not take place. We need people of ability who are going to be able to work in groups and bring about change here, because these poorer people are being swept under the rug. Basically, diplomacy at the United Nations and through governmental interchange and intercourse between nations is more or less just a soap opera and a play, a diplomatic play. It really bears no fruit. It's going to take people of ability, resource, diplomacy, strength, courage, intelligence, wisdom, and a heart to bring about the helping of the dispersed Jewish people and dispersed Christians. Dispersed Jewish people and Christians in number one, India. India is not as free and democratic as you might think. Even the United States is not as democratic and free as you will think, even though it is one of the best, as is India. Many of the Jewish, Muslim, and Christian people being persecuted in African nations, Nigeria, Algeria, Kenya, Uganda, much persecution there. Different flavors of persecution. Persecutions of the government against the Muslim people, persecution of the government against the Christian or Jewish people. Persecution based on religion is simply intolerable and is a complete affront to God, the living God, and the living Jesus, who created man in his own image as a young baby to care and hug. And a nation has no justification in any kind of racial or religious type of persecution. This is the law of the jungle. This is the chimpanzee behavior, and must be addressed and must be alleviated. People of ability, please understand that there are people suffering today. Jewish people, Muslim people, Christian people in various nations because of their beliefs. They're being tortured, they're being imprisoned, they're being killed, they're being... Kristallnacht has not ended. There's a Kristallnacht for Christians, there's a Kristallnacht for Jewish people, there's a Kristallnacht for Muslim people, and Hindu people, and Buddhist people. This type of behavior by animals, these people should not even be addressed as leaders. They are basically animals. Intelligent, courageous people must step up and do something. Please, people of the New York metropolitan area, the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area, please, I beg you, use your God-given resources, both spiritual and financial resources and abilities that you've learned in school and college of how to interact with other people and network and bring about change. Right now we have a very great president, President Obama, one of the greatest presidents of all time, but he needs your input into guiding him in the right course. He is basically in the dark about the Christian and Jewish situation in other nations and the Muslim situation in some nations. We need people of all faiths to step up and protect those who are being persecuted. Thank you very much, and please get in contact with me. My email is rogbus@yahoo.com, and my Skype name is Robert Zagardo, Z-A-G-A-R-D-O. You can add me on Skype simply by the email address. I would like to talk with you and show you how you can use your resources to bring about some help for these poorly treated people in the world. Thank you very much, my brother and sister. God bless you. May the Lord's face shine upon you. May He bring you good days in your life for you and your family. Amen.